What dangers could arise from trimming walnut trees? There was a long list of tasks for today's work. John thought they should split up to work more efficiently, but Cruz disagreed. Most of the tasks required people to cooperate, but John felt Cruz was too old to be of any help. He thought Cruz would only slow him down, so John divided the task list into 2 parts and made a promise in front of Cruz if John finished before him, he would clean the carts and John might need a nap by then. Cruz had no choice but to agree. He watched as John hurried off, not forgetting to remind him to stay safe. However, not long after, 911 dispatch received a distress call. The caller didn't say a word, but kept pressing numbers repeatedly. Another dispatcher sensed something was wrong. They quickly located the phone's position and immediately sent firefighters to check it out. The firefighters soon arrived at the location, which turned out to be a large orchard. They conducted a thorough search and finally found a man lying under a tree. They rushed over to check and found John with a chainsaw wedged into his collarbone. The rookie Ravi was completely stunned at the sight. The chainsaw must have hit a knot, causing it to kick back so hard. John's blood pressure was dropping rapidly. The team secured the blade, unscrewed the bolts, and successfully separated the blade. Now John needed to be rushed to the hospital for treatment. Meanwhile, Ravi was vomiting uncontrollably nearby. John was loaded onto the fire truck. His partner Cruz arrived after hearing the news. When Cruz learned that John's condition was stable, he deeply regretted splitting up with him. Firefighters were called out. It was reported that someone was in danger by the river. When they arrived at the scene, they saw a group of people forming a human chain to save a boy. Earlier, the boy had been playing by the roadside, but unexpectedly, he slipped and almost fell into the river. Fortunately, someone nearby reacted quickly and grabbed hold of him. Passersby rushed to help, but the slope was too steep, and everyone was stuck in a dangerous situation. Firefighters acted immediately. They brought a rope and tied it to the fire truck. One team member secured himself and began descending. The rescue had to proceed in an orderly manner from bottom to top. The first firefighter reached the boy, secured him with a rope, and prepared to bring him up. The second firefighter followed closely behind, ensuring the next person was safe. When the boy was successfully rescued, the second firefighter climbed up as well. Next, the third firefighter began descending. Using this method, they rescued the trapped people one by one. When it came to rescuing the last person, an accident almost happened. Luckily, a firefighter caught hold of him just in time, preventing him from falling into the river. Before long, everyone was rescued. Paramedics checked on the boy and found that he was unharmed. At that moment, the boy's mother arrived in a panic. She said she had fallen asleep on the couch, not realizing the boy had sneaked out. After confirming the boy was fine, the mother quickly thanked the firefighters, but Captain Casey told her, "The ones you really need to thank are them. Wasn't just us. They're the reason your son is safe."
Chicago shows up for each other. That's how we do it.
Right.
Nice rescue.
In an underground parking lot, a mother and her son were arguing. Parker felt that his mother was too strict with him. She should let go and give him more freedom.
See me as like this fragile little kid whose hand you need to always hold, when all you really need to do is back off. I didn't know you felt that way.
As his mother was driving out, Parker realized he had been a bit harsh with his words earlier. He wanted to apologize to her. Just then, the parking ticket in his mother's hand suddenly fell. She opened the car door to try to pick it up, but it was just out of reach. At that moment, the woman accidentally stepped on the gas pedal. The car suddenly moved forward. With a loud bang, the car and the woman stopped moving.
Please help me. My mom's stuck.
Soon, firefighters and paramedics arrived. While paramedic TK was bandaging Parker, he felt something was wrong because it had been so long, yet no one had begun rescuing his mother. At that moment, Tommy slowly walked over to Parker. He said there wasn't anything we could do to help your mom. She is gone. Parker couldn't believe it was true.
No. Mom! Mom!
When he calmed down, he said tearfully, "This is all my fault, because I distracted her. I was such a jerk."
I didn't love her, but I do. I love her so much. She thinks I hate her. No, she doesn't. How do you know? Because she's your mom.
How much do elderly people love to compete? An elderly woman was showing off her newly purchased ring. Her friend, upon seeing it, casually revealed a diamond necklace and complimented the woman's bracelet, saying it looked amazing. Then she turned to everyone and announced that her husband was going to gift her the latest diamond bracelet for their 51st anniversary. The husband, Felix, reluctantly agreed. At that moment, a caregiver came over and mentioned a foul smell coming from the basement, asking if they knew anything about it. The wife pretended not to know and gave Felix a look. Felix immediately decided to go check it out. He hurried down the stairs, and the caregiver Louis quickly followed. As Felix opened the basement door, a foul stench hit him. He glanced at the corner filled with chemicals. Louis then turned on the light, and sparks flew instantly. Felix sensed danger just as an explosion erupted in the basement. Flames spread rapidly. Firefighters arrived soon after and prepared their hoses to extinguish the fire. They rushed into the basement and found Louis injured on the ground. They turned on the water to extinguish the flames, while other team members began rescuing those trapped inside. They discovered a wooden stick had pierced Louis' belly. He was placed on a stretcher, but to everyone's shock, Louis pulled the stick out himself. His condition worsened significantly. The firefighters pressed on the wound to prevent excessive blood loss. Meanwhile, another firefighter found Felix trapped beneath a panel. The firefighters then realized the water wasn't extinguishing the fire. It seemed the water had reacted with the chemicals. They quickly turned off the hoses and switched to using carbon dioxide extinguishers. The fire continued to spread rapidly. Soon sealing off the entire exit, the firefighters acted quickly, using carbon dioxide to put out the fire completely. The captain also found the chemicals in a corner. When Felix was rescued, his wife rushed over to check on him. The captain contacted the police, reporting the discovery of drug-making equipment in the basement. Felix finally confessed. He explained that his wife's constant need to compete and satisfy her vanity had pushed him into a life of crime. However, they never anticipated the explosion that would change everything. The man said he smelled gas. There might have been a gas leak in the building. The firefighters immediately brought instruments to detect it. Unexpectedly, the building suddenly exploded. The firefighters quickly got up from the ground. They needed to rescue the people trapped inside. When they entered the building, they found a woman injured by the explosion lying on the ground. She told the firefighters that her daughter was still upstairs. They first rescued the woman. Then the other team members rushed upstairs to search for the girl. They broke open a door by force and finally found the girl hiding under the bed. Now the fire was spreading rapidly. They needed to evacuate immediately. Fortunately, thanks to their timely rescue, the girl's life was not in danger. The mother standing nearby told the firefighters that she had been doing laundry when she suddenly smelled a strong gas odor shortly after the explosion occurred, but she clearly remembered that she hadn't turned on the gas stove. Firefighter Gallo also found this very puzzling. However, he needed to deal with his injuries for now. When the team heard that Gallo was injured during the mission, his teammates not only applauded him, but also showed him their own scars. Being a firefighter is truly a dangerous profession. Every one of them had scars of various sizes on their bodies. Only with scars could they truly be considered firefighters. To them, scars were symbols of honor. They even looked at Gallo's scar with admiration, because its location could be seen even while wearing long sleeves. Unexpectedly, they received another emergency call that afternoon. Another gas leak had occurred. When they arrived at the scene, they found someone unconscious on the ground. Through the glass, they saw everyone inside lying on the floor. They immediately used their instruments to detect the area and found that the gas concentration was extremely high. They needed to contact the gas company to investigate immediately. However, they faced a tricky problem. Although the high concentration of gas inside wouldn't cause an explosion, repeatedly opening and closing the door during the rescue would inevitably lower the concentration. If the level dropped below 15, there was a risk of ignition. Therefore, they had to rescue the people while constantly monitoring the gas concentration. To save time, as soon as one team rescued a person, they had to enter quickly and close the door behind them. Time passed little by little, and everything was going smoothly. The concentration continued to drop, but at this moment, Captain Casey hadn't come out yet. He discovered someone had tried to escape through a window, but had gotten stuck. Casey quickly pulled him down. By then, the gas concentration inside had dropped to 12. The situation on site was extremely dangerous. Casey was speeding up his evacuation. Fortunately, the building didn't explode, and they successfully rescued everyone inside. The gas company also quickly sent personnel to the scene. After inspection, they found no sign of a gas leak. Even they were surprised. In just a few hours, 2 gas-related incidents had occurred in the same neighborhood. This piqued the firefighters' curiosity. They returned to the firehouse to review the data. They discovered that gas leaks in the area had skyrocketed recently. They suspected something was wrong with the gas company. Chief Bowden immediately led the team to investigate the gas company. The company revealed that complaints had surged recently. After analyzing the situation, their engineer suggested that excessive pressure in a certain pipeline might be causing leaks even when valves were closed. They promised to locate the issue within a day. However, that night, a gas pipeline explosion occurred on a street. The firefighters rushed to the scene, rescued all the injured, and promptly shut off the gas supply. Only then did the fire subside. This incident helped the gas company identify the problem. It turned out that a sensor had malfunctioned. The gas company later visited the firehouse, bringing gifts to thank the firefighter for their help and hard work. Without their timely detection of the issue, no one knew how many more people would have been put in danger.
If your keyboard still looks like this, well, it could be looking like one of these for free and